Hello, friends, and welcome back to Centering for Lent. Today is Wednesday, March 9th, and we're about to sink our teeth into another Franciscan spiritual practice. Now, you may have made the connection, but these spiritual practices and meditations that we do are a form of prayer. We typically think of prayer as sort of a laundry list of requests that we are making and presenting to God. But this is only one type of prayer. I mean, think of how the Bible talks about prayer in all sorts of different ways. Like, especially when Paul makes a statement of praying without ceasing. If he's only praying in that way, he would have had to have a pretty large laundry list. But prayer is more at its core about somewhat essence of communicating with God. And if you know anything about communication, then you know that communication does not just happen verbally, right? We can communicate with others through all sorts of nonverbals. And in fact, a lot of people who study communication would say that our nonverbals actually say more than our verbals do. And so just by being present or moving in a certain way, we can also express a form of prayer. And the Franciscans are really big on this idea that prayer at its core is just about communicating with God. But they also seek to use Scripture quite a lot. We usually use the Bible for preaching and studying. That's usually how we hear it, right? We hear a sermon or we go to a Bible study. But the Bible is also a really good prayer book. So when we use these stories from Scripture in prayer, we would do well to try to stop worrying about questions of history and grammar and study, and to just receive the words as if they're living and active, and that they're going to be animated by God. So today we'll do just that with a passage from John 12. So now I invite you to find your comfortable position, settle in on a chair or on the floor, being kind to yourself, making sure you're comfortable and in a good space, and settle in as we center for Lent today. Come into the present moment now. Notice any thoughts that come into your mind, especially those that come in uninvited. Just observe them and let them go on their way. Just be in the present moment and let yourself enjoy being present and receiving this practice. Be mindful of your breathing and slow it down to a nice, gentle pace. And now hear these words from John 12. Now among those who went up to worship at the feast with Jesus were some Greeks, and they came to Philip, who was from Bethsaida in Galilee. And they asked him, "Sir, we wish to see Jesus." Philip went and told Andrew, and Andrew and Philip went and told Jesus. And Jesus answered them, "The hour has come for the Son of Man to be glorified. Truly I say to you, unless a grain of wheat falls into the earth and dies, it remains alone. But if it does die, it bears much fruit. Whoever loves their life loses it, and whoever hates their life in this world will keep it. If anyone serves me, they must follow me. And where I am, there will my servants be also. If anyone serves me, the Father will honor them." How do you feel upon hearing these words? How does your mind respond? Do the words make you feel confused? Challenged? Uncertain? What was a word or phrase from this passage that stood out to you, that God is presenting to you and only you today? What is God saying to you about this idea of dying in order to bear fruit? How might God be calling you to bear fruit in your own life? What might that look like? Where is God calling you to give up yourself in order to serve? Do you sense that your own spirit is comfortable with this? Are you able to embrace it? Or do you sense any resistance within yourself? Take a few moments now and just reflect and listen to God's voice in this scripture. And after you hear it, simply sit in silence and allow yourself to receive the presence of God in it. Now among those who went up to worship at the feast were some Greeks. So they came to Philip, who was from Bethsaida in Galilee, and asked him, "Sir, we wish to see Jesus." Philip went and told Andrew. Andrew and Philip went and told Jesus. And Jesus answered them, "The hour has come for the Son of Man to be glorified. Truly, truly, I say to you, unless a grain of wheat falls into the earth and dies, it remains alone. But if it dies, it bears much fruit. Whoever loves their life loses it. But whoever hates their life in this world will keep it. If anyone serves me, they must follow me. And where I am, there will my servant be also. If anyone serves me, the Father will honor them." I invite you to take a moment now and express gratitude for this moment and this practice. You can slowly open your eyes and be aware of your breathing again. Begin to move your fingers and toes as you reorient yourself to the space that you share. And take a few more slow, deliberate, calming breaths as we near the end of our practice today. Thank you, friends. Thanks for joining me again today. I hope this has been another helpful practice as we continue to explore Franciscan spirituality and all these spiritual practices and traditions during Lent. Have a great day, and thank you for centering with me. Shalom, friends.